How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to Salvage Auto Rebuilds. And today we are still here at home very early in the morning, and as you can see, we've got Uncle Bill's BMW over here at the house. So this is what I used to get back home. Yeah, since yesterday I was actually quite a bit busy back at the shop, so I guess we'll show you guys exactly what is going on over there once we get over there. But for now, I just quickly need to sort this problem out that Uncle Bill has got with his little Lada. So yeah, it's actually very strange that on the last day of him using this car, it's giving him problems. Well, I don't think a flat tire is really considered a problem. Alright, let's just get this thing in under the car properly, and there we go. Alright, so yeah, a flat tire is something that can happen to any car at any time, I guess. Alright, so there we go. Luckily, he does have a decent spare tire. Alright, I made sure of that when we initially put this car together and sorted everything out. Just got to go ahead and bolt that down. Alright, and Uncle Bill said he's going to have one of his guys from the office sort that out for him. So we don't need to worry about it. At least he can get over to the office a little bit later, because he's going to be going in a little bit later. He's starting to get to that point where everything is more or less sorted out with the law firm that he's working at. So there we go, garage all closed up, and I think we also, yeah, the lights are also turned off at the top there. Alrighty guys, so we still need to do a little bit of polishing to this car. Well, the paintwork, I haven't done that yet because I wanted to give it a little bit more time to cure before we go ahead and did that. So I guess we will just fire this thing up again. And we're going to make our way over to the shop, and then I can show you guys exactly what is going on over there. So the reason why I used Uncle Bill's BMW is because our pickup truck is currently a little bit out of service, if we can call it that. So yeah, let's make our way over there, and then I can show you guys exactly what I've been busy with over the weekend, and yeah, also tell you guys about the new job that we are going to be tackling today. Alright, so here we are back at the shop, and yeah guys, I actually paid the bank over the weekend as well. So I transferred a total of $5,000 over to them just as part of the payment in order to, start paying the $70,000 back which we owe them. So we still owe them an amount of $65,000, which is something that's going to happen hopefully pretty soon. Alright, so let's quickly have a look at these. So guys, as you can see, Uncle Bill has got some new wheels going on his BMW as well. So that is part of the small job that we have for today to take care of. So I'm quite hopeful it'll turn out pretty well once we get this thing, completely polished up and also those wheels fitted. I think they will definitely suit those wheel arches a little bit more. And yeah, hopefully it's going to run and drive a little bit smoother as well, because it's a little bit bumpy with the smaller wheels. So I think this is going to be the first thing that I'm going to tackle today. But before we do, I should probably give you guys a little bit of a tour of what's happening in the yard over there, because we've got a couple of things that's gonna be done today. So yeah, I've been a little bit busy off camera already, as you guys can tell. So the old pickup truck is under the carport because we took the door off and we also took the fender off. So I decided it's time to show this truck a little bit of love. So I spent quite a bit of money on some parts that we need, or not really need, but yeah, we really want to have on this truck. Like for example, we've got a new grille. There's a cover for what is this thing called again? This is the hardtop door. So that's pretty much just going to mount onto the canopy or the hardtop that we've got on the truck. And yeah, I actually got it painted. So that is the window. Yeah, the door is over here, which is the hardtop door. Okay, and then we've also got a new hood. So if you'll take a look at this hood, you'll see it's actually a flat hood. It doesn't have that curve like the old one on the truck has. That is the reason why I didn't paint this one. And also we're going to be taking this grille off and this nasty bumper, Because, well, I don't say it's a nasty bumper. I just think it doesn't suit the truck. We also got the rear right window that needs to go in the cab over here. So I did a little bit of touch-ups here as well. We did some painting and still need to do a little bit of polishing as well. Because I don't know if you guys recall, there was quite a bit of damage under yeah, to this rocker panel over here. So we got that sorted out, straightened out. There's also a little bit of rust I took care of. So yeah, I managed to get this fixed up a little bit. I haven't touched the truck bed yet, so yeah, that's why that part is still rusty, but we are definitely going to get to it eventually. For now, my plan is just to swap the grille and the hood and also get the fender back on and the door, which I also fixed up. So if you take a look under the carport over here by the lift, we've got the door over there, freshly painted, and all the dents have been taken care of. Same with the fender. Because this fender well, it initially came off the truck that we worked on for Uncle Bill. So that is the very same fender. I just painted it and cleaned it up and everything. So that is also part of the work for today, getting our truck up and running. Because we need to head over to our next customer's place and pick up their car. So I think we'll get into that a little bit later on. So yeah, they said we can just pitch up anytime and go and pick that up. As for the little Lada station wagon, we still need to mount the transmission and the header and also the exhaust, which I also have got inside the office. So yeah, our office is quite packed with a whole lot of stuff. I even got some new wheels for the Lada, which is going to fit the Lada a little bit better. We've got some wheel spaces for the Lada over there, and we've got some wheel spaces for Uncle Bill's BMW. So these are 30mm spaces, so one for each corner. Yeah, these are going to make these wheels look so much better on the car once we get them fitted. So I'm just going to grab these and get them out here so that we can actually do this when we lift the car up now. Right, so there's the last one. And I've also got a nice little tool that I need to show you guys. So Uncle Bill actually had this in his garage. So this is a cordless drill which we use to turn the odometer to the correct value on the inside. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but yeah, the cluster is now matching the old cluster's mileage. I was able to get that sorted out as well. So now the cluster is actually showing the true mileage, which is pretty good if you ask me. So yeah, the car didn't really have that much mileage. I mean, 179,000 kilometers, I believe. It's not too bad. Alright, but yes, we're going to use our floor jack over here. Just going to quickly lift the car up on this side. Alright, there we go. That looks high enough. Alright, we're going to need a wrench. Okay, let's go ahead and get this first wheel off. So yeah, Uncle Bill told me I can just hang on to these wheels for now. He's not sure what he wants to do with them. Maybe one day we will build another BMW of some sort and just get those wheels used. I don't know. But yeah, I think these are going to suit the car a little bit better. They are definitely a little bit bigger. I don't think it's a massive difference. I think we could probably do a little bit of a comparison here. Let's just put this one down over there, and then we'll grab this one. Put it down over there. You see, it's a very small difference, but that little bit makes quite a bit of a change in how these wheels look on the car. Alright, so let's just zip all of these down on this side, and then we can lower it back down and just stand back. So apparently the guy who Uncle Bill bought these wheels off actually suggested these wheel spaces, and they actually look pretty good if you ask me. That is actually a pretty decent fit. Yeah, not too far outwards, and they're also not too far in. Have a look at it from this angle. Yeah, that looks so much better. Alright, now let's head over to the other side. We're going to do the exact same thing on this side. And then the last thing I need to do to this car is just give it a nice polish, which we will probably do once this is sorted. Alright, have I turned on the lights yet? I think I have. Yeah, I have actually. It's just pretty weird. It's a little bit dark today. I don't know. Just the weather is all weird and stuff, you know. Right, let's do this side as well real quick. We'll get these last two BMW wheels off. And then I need to see if I can also put them inside. I think we'll also just put them down against the wall over here again. Yeah, let's quickly move these inside. Alright. And the last one, let's just put that down over there. Okay, let's get this wheel back onto the car over here. First of all, wheel spacer. There we go. Looking pretty good. Yeah, I think that is definitely a little bit of a step in the right direction. Alright, let's get this one off. Come on. There we go. Alright, wheel spacer and last wheel. Alright, perfect. That is looking so much better. I don't know, you guys will also let me know down in the comment section, what do you think of Uncle Bill's new wheels? I personally think they suit the car a whole lot better than the old ones. The old ones were just a tiny bit too small. And I think we've got a proper fit on this car now. I mean, let's just... yeah, just look at that thing. That is looking so much better. Alright, so now I think we are ready to grab the polishing disc. Alright, we need to get this onto our angle grinder. Oops, wrong drawer. There we go. Alright, let's get this polishing or rust removal disc off, because obviously that thing was used when I took the rust off of the truck. Alright, so I think what we're going to do, we're going to maybe... you know what I should actually do? Seeing as the light is not as great over here. I wonder if we shouldn't maybe just move the BMW under the carport here. And that's going to mean, let's put the transmission in this thing and see if it actually runs and drives. I think let's do that first. So we're going to need the wrench. Alright, let's grab the transmission. I might also grab the jack so we can get this thing under the car. Alright, let's bring this over to the Lada real quick so we can move that thing out from under the carport and put that in a parking spot. So I think we'll see a little bit better what's going on when this thing is, well, when the BMW is parked over here. Let's go up as high as this thing will go. Yeah, I think that should do the trick. Alright, let's grab the transmission. Alright, let's put this into position under here. Alright. Just gonna have to feel where these other bolts are. Alright, I think I've got all of those. Okay, you know what? Let's maybe do some of these bolts from under here. Alright, I think that's all we can reach for now. Let's just lower it back down. Alright. Put that over there for now. Okay. Pop this hood. Alright. Zip these up as well. Alright, I think I've got that one already. And same on this side. We're just going to go ahead and zip this down. Okay, we've got that one. Alright, let's grab our header. Yep, this is our header. Let's put this onto the exhaust manifold right over there. Alright, so this is the header that came off Uncle Bill's little Lada. So we got him a new header. And then we've got ourselves a relatively decent exhaust here. It's not brand new. It's kind of like an exhaust they just had sitting around in the shop. So I managed to snipe this thing up for pretty decent money. So there we go. Let's just zip this thing into place. And I think now this car should actually run and drive as well, which it hasn't done yet. So I think that'll be great. I might have to just be careful with those wheels, because we haven't swapped the wheels out yet, because there's going to be a little bit of rubbing. And I did check these adjustable coil overs can't be adjusted higher. They are currently on their highest setting. But let's see if it fires up now. Yeah, it still does. Right, and we've got almost a full tank of gas, because I went to fill it up when we mounted the gas tank. Alright, yeah, this engine is definitely a little bit down on power, but it's at least moving now. Which this will actually make a nice little daily for us if our truck is ever, you know, not running. Because it is still usable at the moment. It just, I don't feel comfortable driving the truck without a fender and a passenger side door. That is why I decided to just leave this thing over here at the shop. Oh, well, the pickup truck, and use Uncle Bill's BMW. Alright, so let's see if we can fire this up again. There we go. Pretty easy. This car actually starts up like... yeah, super easy if you ask me. Alright, let's get this thing under the carport over there. Hopefully we'll get a little bit of better visibility with the lighting. Right, reverse it up over here. Alright, I think that is probably good enough. We should be able to see a little bit better what we are going to do to this paint job now when we polish this thing. Alright guys, so there we go. Now we can finally get this car polished up. Let's just give it a little bit of a test run. Yeah, we can at least see what we are doing now. And I'll also turn on my headlamp so we can see a little bit better. Alright, well, I think this is probably going to take me quite a bit of time to do. So, I think let's do a little bit of a time lapse, guys. And I see there's a little bit of an imperfection over there. It's to be expected. As I said, we are going to find some imperfections, and we can always address those a little bit later on. But for now, Uncle Bill is quite in a little bit of a hurry to get his BMW.
Boss man's been breathing down my neck all week. Clock's been ticking slow as January creek. I need some space to breathe air that's clean and wide. Time to leave this cube behind and find my stride. I'm rolling free down highways long, with windows down and radio strong. Miles ahead and sun up high, just me and the sky, and reasons why I'm rolling free. Gas tank full of map unfolding and fold inside. Thoughts, sparks been molded into something new and wild, like I was taught when I was a child. Every mile takes me further from the way try to murder a whole fight kept inside. I'm rolling free down highways long, with windows down and radio strong. Miles ahead and sun up high, just me and the sky, and reasons why I'm rolling free. Mountains rise like old friends, desert sprawls where freedom bends, through valleys green and canyons deep, this restless soul no longer.
Alright, so there we go. That is looking so much better, guys. So I think we polished everywhere. I don't see any mist spots. It looks relatively decent if you ask me. Yeah, I think this thing actually turned out pretty well, and with the addition of the new wheels, I think this thing is actually pretty decent now, guys. I think the only thing that's going to be left to do with this thing is maybe do that little bit of a touch up over there. Right there on the roof, there's a little bit of clear coat missing that I seem to haven't sprayed. So yeah, I'm going to have to touch that up at some point and just get it polished up as well. But I think for now, this thing is good enough. I'm quite happy with it, and I'm sure Uncle Bill will also be happy with it now. Alright, so I think what we are going to do, since we've got the angle grinder here with the polishing disc, we're also just going to polish up here where I did a little bit of touch-up work to the truck. It's luckily not that much because we didn't go that far. Also did a little bit of touch-ups over there. As you can see, we even managed to get a little bit of Bondo on the hood here, because there were a couple of dents that I had to take care of on this whole rocker panel, and also on this part of the firewall. It was also a little bit of damage there. So I think we got that sorted out. Yeah, I think that looks good enough for now. Alright, so yeah, at least after today, I think our truck here should actually be one color. We shouldn't have any more mismatched body panels on this thing, which is going to look a whole lot better. Alright, let's just polish these doors. Well, the door and the fender and also the hood up a little bit before we get them mounted. Yeah, I might not be able to really polish under here too well. Alright, so yeah, I actually got these barrels from the gas station right across the road. They kind of had them sitting around in their backyard. Well, not really in the backyard, but yeah, behind the gas station. So I said, well, let me use them to do my parts painting over here, which is gonna make our lives a little bit easier now in the future if we ever just want to paint some parts. That way we don't have to do it on the floor, which I think is great. Alright, so there we go. I think that looks pretty decent. And now the last thing is just this hood. Not really, we still need to polish that as well. The hardtop door. Alright, well, let's just go ahead and polish this hood up real quick. Yeah, just getting rid of that little bit of orange peel that we still have visible on this thing. Alright, I think that's looking pretty good already. Yeah, I don't know, you guys need to let me know if you think we should keep this orange red, almost like a pink color on the truck, or should we do a full respray one day and do a color change? I don't know. But for now, I just figured let's just make this thing look a little bit better. Alright, I think that should also do the trick. Alright, well, I think that is good enough. And now we are basically ready to start putting this thing together again. There's definitely a whole lot of stuff to put onto this truck before we can use it. Alright, let's pull this tool trolley out here. I still need to mount the wheels on the Lada. That's what those spaces are for. Yeah, let's just bring the toolbox over here. Alright, so we're going to need yeah, probably not, yeah, the wrench. No, wait a second, yeah, because I need to mount the door first before we can get the glass in. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. We're going to pop this onto here. And just zip that down. Alright, see, I missed a little bit of polishing, you know, it's actually not so bad. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, you know. Let's just open this again separately. There we go. Okay. Alright, that seems to do. Okay, now we need to grab the glass. Alright, pop the glass into there. Alright, yeah, it's definitely going to need a little bit more polishing. Okay, let's just do that real quick. Okay, polish it up some more, and I see our spring compressor also popped itself out of the tool trolley again. I wonder where it is now. It's probably inside here somewhere. There it is. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why this thing is always something that decides to sneak out of the toolbox. But alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to get all of these parts mounted. So this is a brand new bumper for the front, and we've also got a brand new grille with brand new headlights and some blinkers. So I think that's going to look a little bit better. And we can also pop this window in over there real quick. Alright, let's start maybe with the hood. Okay, get this old hood off. Come on, let's just get to that last bolt. There we go. Right, so off with the old parts. Right, I should probably get a couple of bucks from Steve for these if I do take it over to him. Right, let's take off the old grill over here at the front again. Alright, so it's just 2 bolts. One on that side and one on this side. Okay, so there's the old grill. Alright, so that's also quite bad actually. It's been mangled ever since we got the truck up and running. Once again, also it's a part that came off Uncle Bill's truck, and so is this front bumper. It also came off Uncle Bill's truck. Right, so yeah, that bolt over there. Okay, so I think this truck has probably got still a whole lot of dents on it. But we'll sort it out all in good time, guys. For now, I just need to get this thing up and running again. Alright, let's get the bumper on here. The brand new front bumper. Alright, can we get to this bolt? Yeah, it's easier now that there's no grill. Alright, let's grab the brand new grill over here, which I did a little bit of an upgrade, and it's kind of also the reason why we are changing the hood to a flat hood so that it lines up with this grill a little bit better. Yeah, let's just bolt that down. Alright, so this one has got 4 bolts. Looking pretty good. And now I think we can grab the fender and the hood. And then you may have also noticed we've got some brand new leaf springs in the bed of the truck. So those are just to bring this truck back to stock right height, because we currently have got those lowering leaf springs on this truck, which is not the greatest. Alright, oh, you should probably also grab the door. Yeah, let's do the door next. Okay, brand new matching paint job on this door. I think it looks a whole lot better. Alright. That is looking pretty good. And now, last but not least, let's grab our hood over here. And get our shiny new hood installed. Alrighty, so there we go. Hood is in place. Now, let's just bolt it down. And same on this side. Zip it down, and there we go. So that is going to be the new face of our truck, guys. I think it looks so much better. Alright, let's quickly grab the window and window lifter. And also we've got the small quarter glass that needs to go back on, which I did take off, so it's over here. Alright, so this is the one for that door. Alright, this bolt is a little bit tricky to get to, but there we go, we've got it. And we've got our window lifter right over here. So this is a brand new window lifter that I bought. And also we have got a brand new glass in this thing as well, because the glass was totally missing. We don't have a door card, unfortunately, for this side, but that's okay. It's not going to be a big worry. And I think the only job that's left to do are these leaf springs, which, yeah, these are, well, one of the rear ones. This is one of the front ones. Alright, just put that down over there. Okay, and then we can go and grab these two. Alright, so this is also a rear spring. And then we've got the last one for the front on that side. Okay. Alright, let's drop that down over there. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe we should do it like this. Where's our jack? It's still over here. Okay. So when we are going to remove these leaf springs now, we just want a little bit of support under the truck. Just hope this floor jack will at least support the truck a little bit for that. So let's see if this works. Alright, so we are just going to undo all of these nuts and stuff under here on this leaf spring. Yeah, the truck is a little bit low. Might be able to see it a little bit easier from this angle. Let's see. Alright, that should do that trick. That one should be free now. Alright, let's get this thing out from under here. Alright, I don't know if I should hang on to these or if we are going to need them for some other vehicle at some point. I doubt it, unless if we decide to build a slammed truck at some point. But I think for now, this truck needs to be at stock right height, because every time we go over a bend or a bump or something, it ends up catching on the road, and that is not ideal. Alright, especially if you are carrying a loaded bed full of stuff, or even if you are hauling a car on a trailer is also a bit of a problem. Okay, so let's see if I can get to this over here. Yep, gotta get a little bit creative to get to these nuts under there, but okay, we've got this one out. Alright, yet again, I don't know if we're going to hang on to those as well. Yeah, we'll probably hang on to everything at this moment. I don't know yet exactly what we're going to do with them, but you never know when you might need it. Alright, so front leaf spring has been swapped. Looking pretty good, and I just need to bolt this down again. Alright, looking good. Now, we didn't touch the brake hoses or anything like that yet. Are they still fine? Just got to make sure of this, because yeah, it seems to be good. Just check this one as well. Yeah, doesn't seem to be any problem with those yet. I haven't touched those. Right, you know what? Let's just bring our jack over to the other side. Yeah, we've got our truck leaning over to the left. So, yeah, these leaf springs are a little bit better for the truck. Alright, let's get this under here on this side and jack it up. I see I didn't touch up that part over there, which is, I think it's fine. Alright, we just need this thing to support it a little bit. And I think let's do it from this angle. Alright, and okay, where's this other bolt? Just gotta find it. Alright, then we've got 4 nuts to loosen up over here. I think it's gonna be easier from this side. Let's do it from this angle. Alright. All 3 of those. Okay, that's still nice and tight. Okay. Alright, there's the other rear leaf spring. Now let's grab this one. Put that onto here. And now we just gotta bolt it all down. Right, looking pretty good. And we'll do the front one. Alright, come on, let's just get to it. Alright, and then we've got 4 under here. Okay, perfection. And now the last one. Let's see if I can figure this out. Alright, well, just got to do a little bit of hunting for all these nuts and bolts. Well, let's face it, these are mostly nuts. We need to loosen up. Okay, and then last one. Alright, where's this last one? Gotta be around there somewhere. There it is, okay. Okay, let's get this one in under there. Alright, get in there. Alright, we should be able to get some of them from here. It's actually a little bit easier. Alright, that last one over there. And that is it, guys. Now we've got our truck back on some stock leaf springs. And it's not going to be catching as much anymore when we go through dips and bumps and stuff. Alright, why did that come off? Okay, let's just put that back onto there. Get this thing lowered back down. And I think it's about time we hit the road over to this guy's... Well, it's not really a house, guys. It's more like the shop. And I can probably reveal it by now. It's the guy over at the beach. He's got that shop that we usually buy the second-hand wheels from. And yeah, he wants us to do some work to that Mercedes of his. And yeah, we also got a phone call the other day from a client who said he's got a full restoration build for us to do. So I've got no idea when that is going to materialize, but I guess we will find out when that happens. But for now, we need to get our truck fired up again. And I'm actually going to enjoy driving this thing now that it's looking a little bit better. It's not cleaned up yet. I only cleaned up on the other side when I did the paintwork and such over there. But yeah, that looks a little bit better. Right, well, let's fire this beautiful machine up again. Right, glow plugs. Alright, now I gotta try and maneuver out of here. Well, there's only a couple of barrels we can hit back there. And probably also run over the old parts there, but yeah, luckily that won't happen. Just be careful over here. Alright, I think let's park it up just over here for the second. Alright, could have actually left the engine running because this shouldn't take too long. What else was there still on the inside here? Let me just check something, guys. I forgot about something. Yeah, I forgot about this trim and the door mirrors. Okay. Yeah, we still need to put this back onto the door, which is the only piece of trim we have for this side of the truck, which, yeah, makes it look a little bit more messy if you ask me. But yeah, we've also got some new mirrors, some door mirrors. So let's also grab these while we are still over here at the shop. Okay, put that onto... Where does it... I think it goes over here. Yeah, that actually fits perfect. Yeah, these are a little bit smaller than the stock ones that we had on the truck. I think they're going to add a little bit better character to our truck that we are doing up here. There we go. That looks so much better. And I mean, look at that front end, guys. That is actually, yeah, so much better. We just need to get this thing registered in our name at some point. Get some new license plates. We at least have got the one at the back. But yeah, we need to definitely get some new license plates when we register this thing. But alright, let's grab our trailer over here. Right, I think this is the first time we're going to use the trailer with the new bigger wheels installed. Alright, let's go ahead and hook that onto there. And I think we are ready to hit the road. Alright, so let's make our way over to this beachfront shop. And then, well, not really beachfront, but yeah, the house across the road from the beach. Alright, start it up again. And I guess we are off, guys. Alrighty, so we made it over to the vehicle extra part shop, guys. So I decided to just park a little bit further down the road so that we can actually get the car lined up and loaded up onto the trailer. So let's go inside quickly and have a word with this guy and then just hear what he wants us to do to this car. Alrighty, folks, so there we go. We did have a word with the gentleman over here, and yeah, unfortunately he doesn't want to give us his name. I guess that's yeah, probably a reason why. For that, we're not going to question it. So what he wants us to do, guys, is take the body kit off this Mercedes and just slap on some stock bumpers, but we are going to have to paint them up for him. And he also wants the different wheels put on this car, because those ones, he said, yeah, he's not into that vibe anymore with the bigger wheels. So we're going to be fitting some more stock looking wheels and yeah, pretty much the stock bumpers, side skirts for him. Right, so I've got to get everything loaded in the truck, and we also need to get the car up on the trailer. So this is going to take me probably a hot minute to carry everything all the way over there. So I didn't think we were going to get parts with the car. So yeah, let's quickly do this then. And get our truck opened up. Alright, see if I can get everything loaded into the back of our truck there. Alrighty, folks, so there we go. We have done loading everything in the back of our truck, and as you can see, guys, we got a little bit of money for this job. So the guy decided to pay me in cash and kind of upfront. So yeah, the only thing I need to do is still get the car over there loaded onto the trailer. Let's just add that money to our wallet. So it's yeah, $2,500, which is not bad. Just saw something. Okay, it's just probably the way the ground is made, but okay. Right, so we've also got the keys to the car in the car over here. So, yeah, let's see how this thing runs. I don't know. Looks like it's a diesel. Well, it's got some glow plug lights. That's how I figured that out. So, yeah, this is just a basic diesel powered thing. It just doesn't suit the look of the car, if you ask me. I thought this thing had a V8 or something in it for sure. Look at that mileage. Holy crap. 713,000 miles. I wonder if that's the right mileage. Alright, but I think we've got it on the trailer. Let me just hop out here. And we'll get this thing lowered back before the car starts slipping down. Alright, come on. Quickly lower it back down. Alright, that is looking pretty good. Yeah, not too shabby for a first try. It's a little bit too far to the right, but I think it's fine. We're luckily not going that far. Alright, so let's hit the road and get our old truck here fired up. Alright, there we go. Glow plugs. Yeah, so the engine in our truck actually is the very same engine that is in that car, I believe. Because we've got a Mercedes donor vehicle engine in our truck here, so it actually runs pretty well. It hasn't had any problems yet. Alright, but we are off. Let's see if we can get back to the shop. Alrighty, so back at the shop, and I think we're just going to park it right over here again, and that is going to make it easier for us to get this car offloaded. And then we're going to take all of the parts out of the back of the truck here and see what we've got to work with. And I need to also go and maybe see if little Lewis can get the paint matched for us, because that'll be great. And we can actually get these bumpers maybe even painted. Right, let's see. Fire it up, okay. Handbrake off. Take it off. There we go. Alright, now we've got a spot open next to the BMW over there. Alright, let's pull it in under here. Alright, so yeah, this is a quick job we are just going to be taking care of for this guy. Alright, I wonder if he still wanted to keep this steering wheel, because that is also not a stock steering wheel. So, I don't know. I don't think he wants the car to be stock. He just wants it to be a little bit more fitting for the engine that it's got in. Because let's face it, that thing looks like it's quite a bit of a powerhouse, but it's actually just a stock diesel. I don't even think it's got a turbo on it. If I'm not mistaken, I didn't hear a turbo on that engine. Oh, come on, don't hit the freaking fence with the trailer. Alright, let's push it back into its place over here. I think that'll work. Alright, let's quickly see what we've got to work with in the back of our truck here. Alright, just open. Come on, there we go. Alright, so we've got the stock front bumper. Looks like it's a brand new one. Primered. Yeah, primer grey. Right, so this is something we can at least paint up then. Okay, let's put it on one of the barrels. Alright, we've got two more barrels here. I don't know, we've got side skirts. Might be able to fit both side skirts on the one barrel. Yeah, okay, let's do this. We'll put it in the sun. I think it's a little bit better. We just got to watch out if it starts raining. But yeah, the skies do seem to be clear, so I don't know. We'll have to see if it wants to rain, then we'll push it maybe under the shed over here again, or under the lift, or the carport. Alright, this is the rear bumper. Can we also balance this thing on the barrel? Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. And then the side skirts, we'll put them down over there. Alright, and grab this. Alright, so this is the one side skirt. Put it on that side of the barrel, and then grab the other one here. Alright, I think we still have enough clear coat. Whoa, that just don't drop it. Don't want it to break. Alright, I think we still got enough clear coat, but as I said, we need to go and get the paint matched over at Lewis's store real quick. So we could always take a walk over there with the sample. We're going to take a sample. Where the heck am I going? It's in the back of the truck still. Right, so these wheels are... They look like Mercedes wheels, but it's probably like a knockoff. I don't know if they're going to need spacers. Maybe we should also check that before we head over to Lewis's store. And maybe I'll pick up some spacers if I'm there. You know, might as well do a proper or a thorough job here. Alright, put that one down over there, and then we'll grab the last one real quick. I think let's start by trying to mount these wheels. Alright. Okay, so this one can go onto this corner. Okay. Alright, so let's grab ourselves the little jack over here, seeing as our lift is... yeah, I don't know, guys. That lift is very hard to use. I actually find it a little bit easier to use this floor jack when just doing something as simple as changing wheels on a car. So we'll see. Maybe one day I can afford myself a 2-post lift, because that'll be a little bit better to work with. Alright, now we need the toolbox again. Oh, I see I never closed up the drawer. And we still haven't mounted the wheels on the Lada. Yeah, we should also do that. So you guys might notice we've got some thicker wheel spaces and some thinner ones. So these are the ones that were suggested by little Lewis, actually. Because these wheels and tires we bought for the Lada is going to solve our rubbing issue. But we can also use some wheel spaces on those. So little Lewis suggested 50mm spaces in the front and 30 mils at the back. So I guess we will see how that looks once we get those fitted. But I think for now the priority would be our customer vehicle, because they really want to get this car back as soon as possible, as it's their only transport. I think the guy said he's going to use an Uber tonight to get back home. But if we can get this thing sorted out ASAP, he will appreciate it very much. Alright, and yep, okay, we've got some wheel spaces over here already. Now the question is, do we use those same spaces on this car? Yeah, I think they might actually work. Let's check this out. Yeah, nice flashy spaces. These are chromed up. Looking pretty good. Alright, let's just still tighten down one bolt. Yeah, 40mm actually seems to be working. Okay, so it looks like he's got some relatively decent wheel spaces for these wheels. Alright, let's see if the same situation is going to be here at the front. I don't know. It looks like it. Okay, so now, yeah, this is also a 40mm. Okay, so yeah, that should actually work out then. Let's just see how that looks. Alright, move that big old wheel over there. Yeah, I think it actually doesn't look too bad. So we will definitely use his 40mm spaces. And does this car also have... Yeah, he's also got adjustable coilovers on this thing. This car seems to be quite kitted, actually, if you ask me, or modified. Alright, except for the engine. The engine is stock. But yeah, I actually think these wheels look a little bit better on this car. Not as flashy as one would think. And to be honest, I actually don't think the bumpers are too much overkill either. They actually look pretty good still, even with these smaller wheels, you know. But I think, yeah, we're going to do exactly what the customer wants us to do. Let's get these other wheels mounted. Right. Alright, and there we go. If we also got wheel spaces on this side, I would be concerned if we didn't. Right, yeah, we do. Okay, so those are also 40mm. Alright, zip it down. Zip it down. Alright, looking pretty decent. And then this one, last one. Alright, I wonder what this guy wants to do with the old wheels. He hasn't told me if he wants to me to take them back, or if we should maybe ask him if we can maybe keep them for a future project, because maybe he's got some other work for us. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, these wheels, the only thing he told me is he's a bit tired of them, so yeah, I don't know. I'll just ask him what he wants to do with these, but for the time being, we will keep them safe. Alright, so now we probably should get the paint coat or the color on this car. And I think the best way of doing that is by taking a sample. So I think what we need to do is grab the fuel door. I think that is going to be a proper sample, a paint sample, or yeah, a color sample. What am I looking for? Oh, the freaking toolbox. Yeah, of course, guys. We put it over here. Okay. Yeah, had a bit of a... Yeah, come on. There we go. Yeah, I was thinking a little bit too fast there for a second, but okay. Let's get our fuel door off of here. And I think I need to take a walk over to Lewis and just see if he can get this paint matched for me. Alright, that'll be great if he can. Okay, can we... Yeah, I think let's just close up the toolbox. Alright, let's go see if he can match this color for us. Alright, so here we are back from Lewis's store, guys. He quickly cooked up a batch of paint for us. So I actually got 2 cans just in case we don't have enough. So I think that should hopefully be sufficient in order to get these bumpers painted up. So we are going to grab the air compressor here. Alright, let's just bring this outside. Okay, put that down over there. And there's our spray gun. Alright, I think this should be quite fast actually. We should be able to get this painted in no time. Alright, let's put our paint inside. These bumpers are nice and roughed up already with this very dull primer on here. So I think this is going to be pretty easy. And it should cover pretty well. Alright, let's see. Yeah, it seems to be doing the job quite well. Not too bad. Alright, so that is the front bumper painted up. Alrighty, not too shabby. Alright, rear bumper. That looks okay. Alright, let's just do these side skirts. Oh my goodness, what in the... What are the odds? Okay, let's just see who this is. Alright guys, so on the phone I just had a word with our customer that phoned the other day. The one that wants us to do a full restoration for them on their vehicle. So it turns out the vehicle is apparently a 1975 Firebird. So yeah, the guy asked me if I'm going to be able to come and fetch the vehicle right now. So it's a little bit late in the episode, I guess. But I guess it's something we can probably go and do real quick. So let me just bring this inside. And also I need to still grab the toolbox. So yeah, I just finished painting that side skirt. I hope I did a proper job. I didn't even check. Yeah, these are painted. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Okay, so let's just pick up our tools real quick. Alright, take this inside. Alright, put that down over there. Compressor. Right, so now we need to hook up to the trailer once again. And gonna have a look at this car. It's luckily not too far. The guy tells me it's over at the little racetrack, which isn't too far from here. We still got the fuel door on the toolbox, but it's okay. We'll just keep it there. It'll be safe. Right. Drop the toolbox over there. Yeah, this is a little bit of a rush, but okay, you know what? It's fine. We will manage this. Just got to make sure I don't hit the barrel over there with the side skirts on. Otherwise, that's going to ruin that paint job. Okay, let's get this onto our truck over there. Alright, looking pretty good. Alright, well, I guess we are going to hit the road again, guys. And I'll bring you guys back up to speed once we are close. Let me just, come on, sit down here properly. Okay. Alright, so yeah, as I was saying, I'll bring you guys back up to speed once we are close to this, this little racetrack. See if we can pick up this Pontiac Firebird. Alright, so here we are. This is in fact the little racetrack this guy was talking about. He told me the barn over here, this one, is where the car can be found. And sure enough, there she is, guys. So yeah, this is in fact a 1975 Pontiac Firebird. Apparently this was a base model back in the day. It came with an inline 6 as far as I can remember, according to the owner. And yeah, we don't have any engine in the engine bay, so that's something we're going to have to sort out. I don't know what engine they would want in this car, but it's definitely seen some better days if you ask me. The interior is completely ruined. It's a little bit dark inside this barn. Let's turn on the headlamp so you can have a proper look around this thing. Got quite a couple of problems as well. Rust. We've got some holes in the hood, which I don't know how we're going to fix that. Might be able to weld those up, or yeah, I'm doubtful we can find a replacement hood for this car. There's also another rusty hole under there. But I think this job is pretty doable. So yeah, now we need to talk about how much money this guy is willing to spend on getting this thing fixed up, guys, which is going to be the little bit of a cliffhanger for a second. So wait for it. Yeah, $100,000 to get this thing fixed up, guys. I think that is a pretty decent budget, and I don't know how far we can actually go with this. It all depends on what this guy wants to have done with this thing. If he wants us to get it, you know, restored just to look good, or if he wants us to do a proper, you know, like resto mod, I've got no idea. But what I think I'm gonna have to do here, guys, is get the trailer disconnected. Okay, because we are gonna have to obviously winch this car on, because it's not gonna drive up like the Mercedes did. Alright, so let's get this thing more or less over here. Okay, whoa, let's not push it into the car. Okay, I'm going to get it lifted up. Just put on the handbrake. Alright. Just gotta figure out how I'm going to do this. It's gonna be a little bit tricky, most probably. Alright, I might have to bring the pickup truck closer anyway, and we are super close to this side. Alright, well, let's push it over that way. Alright. Gonna go up more. Alright, I think that is max. Yeah, this thing is maxed out. Okay, let's bring our truck a little bit closer so we can see if we can get the trailer hooked up again. Because, yeah, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I can't see anything behind me. The tailgate is shut. I should have opened the tailgate, then I could have been able to see a little bit better. Alright, but we'll just bring this more or less into position, and I think... Alright, should hopefully work. Okay, bring it closer. Alright, I think that should do. Let me just see. Alright, hop out. Alright, that's a little bit too far away, but it's fine. I think this should still work. Alright, how are we doing over here? Alright, push it that way a bit. Okay. Alright, now, moment of truth is, am I going to be able to push this car? Should be able to. Alright, handbrake. Yeah, I loosened that already. Okay. Up. Come on. Alright, well, let's try and push it from the back over here. Alright, just a little bit closer. We've also got a flat tire on this corner, which is a little bit of an issue. Well, we're going to try our best and see if we can get this thing up onto the trailer here, guys. Just don't know which direction this thing is going to go now. Well, you know what? I think let's just hook it up and see what we can figure out. Okay, grab the hook, and there should be a place to hook this thing up under here. Let me just see where it is. It's probably right over there. Alright, let's see how this is going to work. You know what? I wonder if I can open this door so I can get out of here. Alright, let's winch it slowly. I can't see anything. I'm winching from here. Okay, maybe we could actually lower it back down a bit. Let's see if that'll work. Alright, now we can see it coming. Okay. Alright, not too bad. It's going over this side a little bit. I think it's because of that flat tire, but okay. Let's see. Come on. Alright, guys. So after a whole lot of struggling, we finally got the car up onto the trailer, and I think we are ready to try and see if this is going to work. Alright, yeah. Let's just move it out from the barn over there. Come on. There we go. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Alright. I think the trailer's handbrake is probably up. That's what's causing this thing not to move. Okay. Alright, we'll close up this barn real quick again. Just leave the place as we found it. And I think we are ready to hit the road. Yeah, that rear tire that is flat is causing all sorts of havoc. But alright guys, let's get this thing back to the shop once again. And hopefully we don't run into any troubles. Alright guys, so here we are back at the shop with the 1975 Pontiac Firebird. It has been quite a bit of a drive back to the shop, and when we got here I immediately went and fetched the air compressor so that I can air up this tire, because it was causing all sorts of problems on the trailer. So I guess the last thing I need to do today is at least get this thing off the trailer and see if I can push it into the yard, maybe. I don't know how well this is going to work. Alright, let's just get this out of our way. Alright, handbrake off. And just let it roll back. Alright, I think that is fine. Yeah, it's not rolling as much because I think everything is so rusty and crusty in this car. Luckily the wheels weren't locked up. But yeah, we got it back to the shop guys. It's going to need a whole lot of work. And yeah, we will definitely communicate with our customer and just find out exactly what they want us to do with this thing. But I think this episode is getting a little bit too long once again, same as the previous one. So I think it's time we call it a wrap. So yeah, thank you all so much for tuning in once again. I really appreciate every view, every like. And also don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. I will appreciate it very much. And then I'll see you all in the next one.